Hello, and we are here for my UFC 257 prediction video. But before I get into the main card predictions there, real quick, I wanted to do a prediction on the main fight of tomorrow's UFC Fight Island Fight Night number 8. It's actually starting at 9 a.m. for us here in California, so wherever you live, please look out for it. It is starting in the a.m. So if you missed it last time at noon, you're going to miss it again. But real quick in the main event, we're seeing Michael Chiesa versus Neil Magney. This is an important fight in the welterweight division here. The winner of this can start barking at the top 5 there. I'm actually going back and forth on this fight still. They're around the same height. Neil's a little bit taller, however, he has a 5-inch reach advantage, which I do think is a big deal. Sometimes he fights long, it's a little bit inconsistent, but we see he has been getting better and better with his stand-up. So if he's got that good jab, which I hope he does with them long old arms, that we can really see that here. You need to use that here. You need to fight behind that jab and have a high offensive output. You're more of a cumulative damage, although you're deceptively strong in the welterweight division. I would give the power advantage to Michael Chiesa, but with that 5-inch reach disadvantage that he's at, he's going to have to get inside of that. He's going to have to fight him in his chest. That controlled chaos, straight lines in his chest, that Muay Thai, holding the head, dirty boxing up against the cage, and which he is actually very good at doing. So I would advise him to do that. As far as the kicks, of course, both of you employ those kicks. Try to tear apart that league leg. If you can get the other one hesitant, of course, that goes in your favor. As far as the ground game goes, both of these men are just, you have Michael, who is apparently a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and Neil, who apparently is a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but we both know they slang them belts like black belts, the both of them. So we could see a stalemate here on the ground unless one of them is physically stronger. They're both pretty tricky on the ground. They're both really good on the ground. So maybe Michael Chiesa with the ground and pound. But actually, Neil's got really good ground and pound too. They both got pretty good wrestling. They're gonna have to see, feel each other out. If it does go to the ground, see who's stronger, see who's better with feeling each other's body weight and the leverage. But quite frankly, I think it's probably going to be a stalemate on the ground. So if it stands on the feet, Neil, keep it in space. Use your reach advantage, tear apart that league leg, the cumulative damage. Although, like I said, you have deceptive power, but fight behind that jab, make your openings. Michael, fight him in his chest, dirty boxing, make it ugly, which is how you fight anyway as well. I think it's going to be a great fight. Great fight. So for now, I'm picking Michael Chiesa. For now. Neil, for me, is a little bit more inconsistent, just a tad. Michael's gotten a handle on his cardio issues. That's just for right now. That's all I can say. They're like the same age and everything. So for right now, I'm picking Michael Chiesa, but I don't know who's going to win this fight. Now, on to UFC 257. Let's go on to the main card here first. I'm choosing Amanda Ribas to beat Marina Rodriguez. I kind of just want to hear her talk on the mic again, but no, honestly, she's one I'm looking to watch. She's very feisty. She seems to be highly skilled. I'm really looking to see where she could go. So picking Amanda Ribas and that voice. Next up, I am choosing Otman Azatar to beat Matt Favola. This is one I'm going to have to probably look at for the weigh-ins to see how they look against each other. I might have to do a little bit more research, see how they've been training. I'm going back and forth on this one, but for right now, Otman. I'm choosing Joanne Calderwood to beat Jessica Eye. This is really one where I'm going back. Look, I'm actually kind of going back and forth on every single pick on this card. Let me just let you know that right now. This one I'm going back and forth for a number of reasons. I think if it goes to the ground, I actually think Jessica might be a stronger wrestler on the ground, although Joanne, I think, is maybe a little bit slicker with her submissions, but I think Jessica might be a bit stronger, physically stronger on the ground. On the feet, Joanne's going to have cumulative damage. I think she has a higher offensive output. She's going to have to do that and be first. Take the center of the octagon. Sometimes she's willing to accept bad positioning. You can't do that with Jessica. Jessica's also willing to eat a couple to get on the inside. So, but sometimes she makes bad decisions and unnecessary risks. So for me, I'm picking Joanne because if Val keeps her belt, even if she loses her belt, I think she'll get an automatic rematch, right? So if she keeps her belt against her next competition, I think that Joanne winning the fight will get a title shot quicker than Jessica, who's already lost. It's as simple as that. I want to keep the women's flyweight division moving forward. So moving on, picking Joanne Calderwood. Next up, co-main event. And okay, so we're seeing Dan Hooker, ranked number 6, taking on the debut finally, of Mr. former Bellator champion, lightweight champion. Was he lightweight and featherweight champion? Featherweight champion as well. It escapes me right now, but definitely lightweight champion, Mr. Michael Chandler. And we've been waiting for this. If you know about Michael, which you should, quite frankly, if you claim to be an MMA fan. I hate to say stuff like that, but. So we've been waiting for this. This is a good test for Michael Chandler. They are throwing him right into the fire with Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker, this is first off the lightweight division, which is highly talented even in both organizations. Dan Hooker is ranked number 6. He's earned that. He's super durable, super hard to put away. He's going to be bigger than Michael Chandler, a couple of inches taller, and about, it was like a 3-4 inch reach advantage as I saw as well. And he does kind of fight long. He's not like a Max Holloway, but he does use his length. He's, I believe it was a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but we've seen he's a pretty proficient wrestler as well. He's pretty much good all the way around. He's coming from City Kickboxing, and they're pretty much good all the way around, but he would be more dangerous on the feet, keep this in space where you are, you have the advantage. With the kicks, you want to tear apart that league leg because, of course, Michael Chandler has that amazing wrestling base. Amazing wrestling base. So, he's got some hands as well. He's got knockouts under his belt. He's become a well-rounded fighter. But in this fight, I do believe he's going to want to take this down to the ground, where I do believe he'll be better. I think that's his best chance for victory against Dan Hooker, is to take him down to the ground, where I think he'll be able to wear on him. Hold against the cage, but can hold your body weight, wear on him, target his lead leg as well, make him hesitant to come forward, because Dan Hooker's one of those people. He's also willing to eat some, to give out much more. He's also like once that momentum gets on his side, it's very hard to stop him. So you're going to want to be first. You're going to want to tear apart his lead leg and want to get in close, that dirty boxing, get inside of his range, make him carry your body weight, weigh on you, even with the takedown attempts, even if it doesn't land, but keep him always looking for that. And then eventually try to get him down to the ground, where I do think you are better. But you're going to have to be careful, because he is proficient on the ground as well. Who's going to win this fight? I'm picking Dan Hooker. I think he might be too much for Michael on the feet. I mean, you know how Dan Hooker is about that life on the feet, y'all. Come on. So as long as he's smart, doesn't make any bad decisions with his movement, especially with his hips and his legs, of course, all of that. And don't underestimate the power of Michael Chandler. He does have it, deceptive power. But if he does get you down to the ground, just go ahead and pop back up and disengage. Don't accept bad positioning. But yeah, I'm going to go with Dan Hooker. All right, on to the main event, and this is for the vacant UFC lightweight championship belt, which has been vacated by Mr. Khabib Nurmagomedov for now. All right, so we are seeing, I believe he's number 2 ranked, Mr. Dustin Poirier, taking on, I believe he's number 4 ranked, Mr. Conor McGregor. And I'm actually really excited for this fight. I do not think it's going to go the way the first fight went. I think the first fight was over in about 1 minute and 19 seconds. I don't think it's going to happen this time. Both fighters have gotten better. Let's start with Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor has gotten really good with his cardio issues. If you remember in the earlier in his career, he definitely had that lull in that 3rd round, 4th round, and he was like vulnerable at that time before he would catch his second wind. He's definitely gotten better with managing his cardio. Conor has always been a very smart fighter. He continues to work all those intangibles, as I've always said, but despite all my issues with Conor, as I've always said, I respect the fact that he works the ref. He works the commentators. He works the crowd. He does all the intangibles. I love the mental warfare. I love that. I don't know why other fighters don't do that. He's definitely not the first. Muhammad Ali, so forth and so on. So I love that he works every angle to the fight. So I respect that. As far as the mental warfare, doesn't seem like there's been a lot of that going on here with this fight, unless you let me know if there's something I've been missing. Conor McGregor also, as we've seen, has been adding to his repertoire. After $100 million, I said we either may not see him fight again, or that it would be kind of a drop-off. I was wrong. He seems to still have a hunger for this game, and as we've seen in the fight against Donald Cerrone with the shoulder shots, he's still adding to his game. He is still doing new things, trying new movements, improving as a fighter. He hasn't gotten complacent with the money. Now, one fight in 3 years. The fight against Donald, I believe, was almost a year ago. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but how honestly, that was in the welterweight division. And Donald, to me, I hate to say, I believe he is in the winter of his career. We'll see what happens with that. So, Dustin's a different beast, right? He has been active for the last 5 years. Dustin has been better since he's moved up to 155. Not only has he has power, he's been more powerful, but he carried his speed as well. As far as diversity in his strikes, he just seems to be adding more as well with his kicks as well. He's gotten better with his wrestling, a lot better with his wrestling, honestly, if I'm being honest. A lot better with his wrestling, and his confidence is there as well. He's a smart fighter. He protects himself. He has the angles as well. He's a very good boxer, and so is Conor. I think that Dustin might have a wrestling edge on Conor. We know Conor is kind of vulnerable with the wrestling, but let's see if he's been working on it, because I do believe he's been working to improve his game. However, again, I would still probably give the wrestling edge to Dustin. So if he just gets in trouble on the feet, go down. Obviously, you're going to want to keep a cool head. Don't let him talk smack to you inside the octagon and get you to fight outside of character. That's going to wane on your gas tank, but it's also going to get you to fight out of character and leave you open to get knocked out. Conor does have a higher accuracy rate than most fighters. He's not a high offensive output. Dustin, you can overwhelm him with offense. You can get him hesitant, make it so he can't get started. The way that we saw Max do with Calvin. Calvin couldn't even get started. You could do that with Conor. Conor's not a high offense output guy. Conor, with them kicks, employ those kicks. I think I think your kicks are underrated. Actually, get Dustin hesitant to come forward. Give him different looks as well. If you've been working on your wrestling, let's see it there. Give him different looks. Dirty boxing out the inside with your shoulders. I think you got more with the dirty boxing we didn't even get a chance to see. So let's see it. They're around the same size, height, weight. Reach advantage. Conor has like a 2-inch reach advantage, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. And he fights longer. Conor fights longer. So even if I got that wrong and Dustin has like the 2-inch reach advantage, Conor fights longer. So it would nullify that. Because they say. I think it's going to be a great fight. I don't think it's going to go the way that the last fight did. I'm going to pick Dustin Poirier. 5 rounds is going to be different. I think he's different at this weight class. I do. I think he's much more dangerous at this weight class. And I really think he would have learned from his mistakes. You would even get to see how that fight would. 1 minute and 19 seconds really isn't even enough time to really see how the fight's actually going to unfold. So, but Conor with the angles, that awkward movement, he's a great gauge of distance. He's really great with range. For now, Dustin, I gotta be honest, I'm not that confident. And on top of that, I gotta be honest again. Dustin, he's made a name for himself. He's a bona fide star himself. We like watching his journey as well. But there's levels to everything. Conor getting that belt back would do wonders for the UFC. And I'm all for the expansion of MMA as a whole. So there's that. This is one of the times where I would not be mad if I'm wrong, and I wouldn't be mad to see Conor McGregor become the champion again. But for now, I'm picking Dustin. All right. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm on Snapchat. Give me all your injury updates. Let me know all of your picks, including there's actually a lot of good fights. Roxanne Modafferi against I forget who else on the Wednesday event. I might be doing some last minute picks. Like at 1 o'clock in the morning when I go to sleep or something, because it's happening in the morning. So be looking out for all of that. That's actually a really good card happening tomorrow morning. And be looking for me to possibly renege, because I'm actually unsure of all of these picks as far as UFC 257, y'all. But I'm super excited for both events to come. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe, like, talk to me, take care, and goodbye.